Hello everyone, welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a modern slip joint knife. I've know I said previously, if you're familiar with the channel, I'm not really a huge fan of those, but this one really sort of stood out to me as one I really wanted to pick up. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look at a modern Spyderco today. See, it comes in the classic Spyderco box. You've got the bug on the front there with the red, silver and black. Some information on the side there. You've got Spyderco and Colorado. Same stuff on this side, but just in red. And at the end, you can see we're looking at model number SC127GPRD. And that, of course, is the Heinnie Haynes exclusive of the Urban with red G10 and the S90V steel. So really upgraded compared to the standard one, which is just FRN and N690, I think it is. Maybe, could be wrong. This one, obviously, is made in Italy. A lot of their knives are made in Colorado in the US, but the smaller ones are made in Italy, things like that. And on the back, you can see we got the Heinnie label on there as well. You got Spyderco trademark round hole, reliable high performance, refined ergonomics, and superior blade steel. Inside the box then, obviously we have the pocket clip in here because I'm really not a fan of pocket clips. And this wire one I always find wiggles back and forth, so I tend to slip carry mine, so I did take the clip off the knife. We have the little standard information and warranty guide from Spyderco. You get this extra little bit of paper in here, which just basically says, congratulations, you purchased an exclusive version of this knife. So you've got here the Spyderco, an exclusive special configuration for, and then it goes down to say that it was made for Heinnie Haynes here in the UK. And apart from that, just the baggie the knife came in. So we'll just pop all that to one side. So here it is. This is the Heinnie Haynes exclusive Spyderco Urban in the red G10. Close length, we have 1, 2, 3, just over 3.5, so say 3.6 inches closed. Very modern construction, so we got the captive pivots on this side, so there's no Torx bits at all. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, full back spring along the back. This really nicely milled out G10 that provides excellent grip. It's one of the things that really drew me to this, is it's going to be a real work knife. Nice and grippy, not too textured that it's uncomfortable, but enough that it's going to stay in your hand if you've got wet hands. Maybe you're working outside, they're like dirty or muddy or oily. I don't think this would be a trouble at all. It would stick in your hand. No worries about that slipping out. Build quality, as you'd expect from Spyderco, is fantastic. No gaps at all. I've shone a flashlight through there and I can't see any light through it, and it's just excellent. You see we have the cutout here on the front of the G10, which of course is for the reversible pocket clip. You can see there front and back. And the way that would work is you just take that screw out there, you put the clip in and then screw it over the top, and you can see the screw just pinches this against the scales, and it would sort of sit on the knife like this. Quite large for the knife, really, that pocket clip. And I mean, if you love a pocket clip, great, leave it on. But for me, it doesn't really work how I want to carry the knife, so I did get rid of that. You see we have T8 Torx bits constructions on the back here. So you got the pivot one up here is a T8, and then the two handle ones down here are also a T8, so that's great to see. See we got the slip it design on the tang as well there, so it's easy to open but harder to close. We will go through that in a second. Blade centering, yeah, pretty centered, a little tiny bit off to one side, but for a knife that you one hand open and you press against the blade to open it, it's going to happen. It's going to be off center at some point. I have tightened down the pivot. I put a little bit of Loctite in there just to keep it, stop it undoing. I had a bit of an issue with my my UKPK, where I would sort of get the pivot where I wanted, so you had really nice action. Then after a while, it would start working its way out. So a little tiny bit of blue Loctite in there sort of solved that for me. But again, that wonderful vibrant red G10 you get with all Heinnie exclusives. So let's take a look at the blade. Of course, you've got that Spidey thumb hole there, which is the way of opening. Really easy into like a nice light half stop there. You can see that really nice satin grind on the blade. The Spyderco logo up here as well. And we'll take a look at the tang, and you see we've got Spyderco CPM S90V, so a very high-end steel with the H there to let you know it's a Heinnie exclusive. And on the back there, we have sort of the maker's designer's mark and Maniago, Italy, where this was made. Really sort of nice and easy to open this. So you've got a nice snap on the close as well. Like affirmative, not too loose. It's never going to come open in your pocket. I would say it's probably it's about a 6 all the way, and then I'd say it's probably about a 6 on the brake as well. But it does stop in this half stop, so you know, if you're holding the knife back here, you've got no concerns that's going to cut you. But one of the things I do like about the Spyderco knives is this really sort of forward finger choil. So when you're holding the blade and you've got this forefinger up here, there's literally no way that's going to close on you with your finger in the way. Especially if you're in a nice sort of work grip. I mean, the spring can break all it wants. It's never going to close on your hand, and you know that's going to be secure in there. So as the leaf style blade that comes with most Spydercos, I know they do offer a drop point. We will do a bit of a comparison to my UKPK so you can see the sort of size difference. But for me, honestly, I think this is better than the UKPK. Just, it fits my hands better. The size is better. It's a bit less in your face than the UKPK, but the blade, I know they've made it to specification to be on the border of UK limit. But this, I think, is a much better carry. We can see the edge on here. Absolutely fantastically done by Spyderco, and it's razor sharp, like scary sharp. Stropped it once, had it about a week, and the blade's as sharp as it ever will be. Of course, you've got that Spidey hole on there too. No swedging, just a nice working blade. So the full blade length on this, we're looking at, let's take a little look, pretty much bang on that 2.5 mark. That's tip to tang. And then the cutting edge, we have 2.2, just about 2.2. So very UK legal knife. It's a slip joint, under 3 inches, no flipper tabs, nothing like that. You're allowed to one hand open. This is definitely a legal carry for me, and one that I actually have been carrying for the last week. I've really been enjoying using this, especially doing some hard use tasks around my property, things like that, out and about. Just nice to have a, you know, a knife you can really rely on, trust you can get. It's obviously going to get you through a full day. It probably get me through a full week, maybe even a month, with how good this steel is. But we'll take a little bit of a comparison now compared to a UKPK. Mine I picked up, again, is the Heinnie exclusive. You can see that red G10. And I picked up the drop point blade instead of the leaf. But you can see how much bigger this is in the hand. You know, the handle sticks out the back here. The blade is quite long. And if I compare that next to it, if I line up the sort of the pivots, you can see we've got an extra sort of 1/2 inch on each side. So it is quite a larger knife. Just take a look at some of the specs. So we did the blade length. It was 2.5 for the Urban. And then for the, where have we got? UKPK. Yeah, so it's literally bang on that 3 inch mark with a cutting edge of just over 2.5. Close length on this then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.1, 4.2. So it is a much bigger knife in general. And I just really prefer the comfort of this, of the Urban. It's great in the hand. You can see the finger grooves cut on there. It's just really comfortable, especially with that pocket clip removed. Honestly, it's a game changer. Did exactly the same for my UKPK when I got it. You can see I did use the clip for a while, and you can see what I mean where it moves back and forth. But I just find this knife so much more comfortable to use without the clip. But I mean, if I'm going to pick between the two, which one to carry, for me, it's going to be the Urban every day, hands down. It's just, for me, it's just a much better knife, much better all-rounder with that sort of blade. And you can see, just comparing the blades here, look how much more sort of length you got on this. And for me, I always find with the UK, if I've got a smaller knife, no one seems to bat an eyelid, and I just think this might be pushing it a bit too much for the UK. But nothing against the UKPK, it is a fantastic knife. Just, honestly, the Urban's better. Especially that's S30V, and then you get this in the S90V. For me, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to go for this every time. So there we go, guys. That's my review of the Spyderco Urban. That is the Heinnie Haynes exclusive. I will drop a link to that in the description, so if you want to pick one up, go head over there and grab it. Really hope you enjoyed this review. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.